You're listening to Why Is That? Radio, the place that helps you send unsent letters. My dear, how long has it been since you last truly embraced yourself? In the rush and hustle of life, sometimes we get so caught up chasing expectations, responsibilities, and to-do lists that we forget there's a tiny heart within us that needs comforting, a soul that needs to be heard. In the most precarious days of your youth, have you ever paused, gently hugged yourself, and whispered, "You've worked so hard"? We often give warm hugs to our loved ones but forget that we, too, deserve comfort and affection. So today, let's journey back to our true selves with Why Is That? Radio in these unsent letters. Let's learn to love ourselves, accept our imperfections, and find joy in the smallest things. Let's begin. The first letter is from someone who knows you cry. You sob through the night, tears endlessly falling, your mind piled high with unanswerable questions. You've started skipping meals, constantly ill, draining your health. At night, you're plagued by nightmares and then you cry again out of helplessness. I know you bottle up your emotions, often dwelling on past events, but dear, you must love yourself. Love even the child within you who was hurt by that terrible past. I see how much effort and struggle you've put in just to make it to today. You are so capable and strong. I hope you continue to live, and I hope you live truly happily. I hope someone comes to you and heals the wounds within you. Please remember to eat well. Eat the foods you love, sleep soundly. If you're sick, buy medicine and take it, okay? You must take care of yourself. If no one else is there for you, then be there for yourself. Don't endure too much, don't stay silent for too long. And please stop thinking about disappearing. Smile much more, okay? Your smile is beautiful. Don't hide it behind your hands. You are you, just be you. I hope you step happily into the future, don't be discouraged by anything or look back at the past, and you will receive what you desire, my dear. The next letter is from May. This is a letter I wrote to myself. Lately, I've been feeling uneasy about the relationships around me, and I don't know why. I tried to cry to release those emotions, but I couldn't, so I decided to meditate. This was the first time I could focus so deeply on meditation. I had tried a few times before, but none were successful. The first thing I saw when I closed my eyes to meditate was a very clear image of my true self. An inner self covered in cracks on its skin, in only two shades, gray and black, with eyes full of resentment. I realized my inner self had suffered too much damage from many surrounding relationships, so it started to fear that if I gave too much love, in the end, I would have nothing left. But my inner self, don't forget that you still have me. I will always love and comfort you so much. Not to mention, you still have so much other love, don't you? Love from parents, self-love, love for all beings. Whenever you're sad, I will always love, hug, and comfort you like a small child. You can stay with me for as long as you need, just don't forget to love yourself too, okay? After that, I felt my own embrace, and I cried inconsolably. The gray and black patches on the skin of that inner self slowly fell away, and I began to feel a rainbow emanating around that true self. This was also the first time I had ever seen such a rainbow. It was truly sparkling, beautiful, and pure. So, my inner self, you are truly beautiful and strong. The next letter is from Cran. To my true self, the person I love most in this world. We've been together for 19 years now, haven't we? How time flies. Before, I always used 100% confidence to say that I understood and loved myself the most. Looking back now, I realize I was just talking big and didn't truly understand and love myself that much. I'm a girl who stays up late, wakes up late, often comforts and listens to others, but sometimes can't comfort myself. At those times, I feel utterly helpless. I also want to be listened to be comforted by the words I say to others, but I find it hard to open up and share. Many times I'm mentally exhausted and just want to cry out loud, to be vulnerable beside someone. But then I swallow my tears, silently nurse my sorrow, and heal myself. Am I being too selfish with myself? I've taught myself and researched ways to protect myself from psychological issues, becoming my own reluctant therapist and learning to love myself more. Thank you, self, for never giving up. Thank you for always being here. I will try my best to take better care of us. Let's keep trying together. I love you very, very much, my dear self. The next letter is from Lighthouse. Hello to those in their teenage years. Are you happy? As for me, I'm still pressured by learning to be an adult. No, I'm pressured by the many worries of a 19-year-old boy. Born and raised in an economically struggling family, I always remind myself to strive every day. From a young age, I wasn't pampered like my older siblings. Sometimes I didn't feel love from my family. I would just bury my face in my pillow and sob in the dark. Because I was stubborn, I wouldn't let anyone know. And from that, a resilient, determined, and lively boy emerged, embodying the perfect child image. I never needed anyone to remind me to study. I was always self-motivated. My phone didn't even have a single game, I didn't go to cafes, and I didn't have any specific music taste. Worse still, I couldn't fulfill my 18-year-old dream. I chose to study a different major than my dream to save costs for my parents. I thought it was time to share the burden and make my parents proud. My first 10 aspirations were for the future. Only my 11th aspiration was my dream. I accepted the hardship in this environment, accepted the sacrifice. 6 months passed, and my family had many upheavals. Due to my father's large debt, my parents had disagreements and almost divorced. Now, a heavy burden rests on my shoulders. I want to study, I want to work to earn money, and I want to pursue my dream. On the outside, I look strong, but deep inside is a lonely child. Many nights I can't sleep due to worrying about my family. Many times I sit at my study desk, but my mind is vague, unable to cry. I don't want to tell anyone about my problems because I know they can only comfort me, not change my fate. Sometimes I drink a few beers, look around, and want to burst into tears, but the image of a young man doesn't allow the child within me to express itself. I want to go somewhere far away, pursue my dream without a care in the world. But I can't, definitely not. Everyone says I'm unpredictable, that I'm old before my time. Because I have too many thoughts for a child of only 19. Sometimes I still think of myself as a lighthouse, shining brightly across the vast ocean, but sometimes I might just be a lonely beacon in the silent night amidst the crashing waves out there. Lighthouse, you have truly sacrificed, you have tried so hard, and you have done so well. The next letter is from Pin. There are days when we feel submerged in helplessness, in insecurity, failure, or the pain of the past. There were times when I was like that too, lost, confused, and even questioning if anything was worth continuing. I grew up in an unhappy family, where arguments between my parents were frequent. At that time, I could do nothing but stand there, witness it, and feel powerless. My academic performance plummeted, and I lost the motivation to try. As my grades declined, I felt even more useless. Pressures from family, school, and surrounding relationships weighed heavily on me, until I thought that perhaps the only way to escape was to give up everything. But gradually, I realized one thing: the past doesn't define me. How I face it is what truly matters. Injuries and setbacks are not things that drag me down forever, but they can be a foundation for me to move forward. Instead of denying or trying to forget what happened, I learned to confront and accept it as part of my journey of growth. When I looked back at everything from a different perspective, I saw that every wound could become a lesson. And no matter how painful the past was, it couldn't stop me from building a better future. Most importantly, I learned not to be afraid to seek help, whether it's a conversation with friends, a book, or even just a few moments of listening to myself. Sometimes, even a small action can change an entire life. Through this letter, I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to my friends, my older sister, and even my literature teacher. Thank you all for helping me overcome dark times, for accompanying me when I was lost, and for helping me find the light in my life again. Without all of you, I might not be where I am today. And dear ones, if you're feeling stuck, remember that light always exists. It's just that sometimes we need time to recognize it. The past may be an old chapter, but you always have the right to continue writing your own story. There is a principle about light and darkness that I hold dear. Darkness does not truly exist, it is merely the absence of light. You cannot grasp darkness and throw it out of a room, but just light a small candle, and the darkness immediately vanishes. I think life is the same. We cannot erase all pain or a traumatic past, but we can choose to illuminate our souls with forgiveness, gratitude, and hope. Don't fight the darkness. Find a way to bring light into your life. Even if it's just a tiny glimmer, it can still guide you out of your darkest days. The last letter is from D25, addressed to the girl of 2025. Starting a new year that was not very smooth, she embarked on a challenging journey filled with monumental changes, soul-deep losses, and difficulties that struck all at once, often making her feel overwhelmed, teetering amidst her own thoughts. Every day she woke up, she had to fight her complex emotions, trying to find a glimmer of light to keep going. She didn't have a stable spiritual anchor to lean on. Even her own self sometimes wavered in doubt. There were days she questioned if she was good enough, worthy enough, only for fears to then engulf her. But despite many times wanting to falter, she is still on the path to finding herself again, to finding a life she deserves. She is learning to trust herself, learning to accept things that don't go as planned, learning to accept loss and pain. She believes that many good things still await her, and if she just tries a little bit each day, being a little better than yesterday, then she can already be proud of herself. Self-discipline is still something she is cultivating, but as long as she keeps trying, she will reach where she wants to be. These difficult days sometimes make her feel disheartened. Comparing herself to those around her, even though she knows everyone has a different journey, she can't avoid moments of feeling sorry for herself. But instead of letting that weigh on her mind, she chooses to turn it into motivation to rise up, to become the best version of herself. Looking back on the journey, she has not only lost but also gained many lessons from her wounds, how the shaky moments have made her stronger. She has done so well, there's no need to rush or feel insecure. Just patiently move forward, for good things always take time to arrive, and the wounds within her will gradually heal. Not by anyone else, but by the gentleness and kindness she extends to herself and those around her. As long as she remains herself, lives sincerely and full of love, then one day, light will once again fill her. So, girl, keep moving forward bravely. My dear, on this long and wide journey, there will be days when our hearts sink, moments that make us feel lost. Yet amidst the chaos, the pressures, the unfinished dreams, it's all part of the journey we are on. No matter how today turns out, no matter how tired you are, remember that you are not alone because you always have yourself. A person who has overcome countless ups and downs and challenges with you. And believe that happiness is not something too distant. It can begin in this very moment, from the warm embrace you give yourself. Give yourself a quiet space to find peace, a hug to comfort, a word to soothe the cracks in your soul, because you deserve happiness from even the smallest things. Why is that? Radio hopes that no matter where you are, you will always know how to love yourself, and that is the first step to touching happiness. That concludes the Unsent Letters for this week's radio show.